Hello, my friends, and welcome to the second part of the Trinity map creation of Cities Skylines. We have our basic setup now. So what we're going to focus on now is adding trees and landforms, resources, and of course, highways. What I want to do first, actually, is I want to add a shipping lane, but in order to do that, I actually have to make this river go both ways, believe it or not. If for no other reason, then the shipping lane has to be to go all the way through. So yeah, to my calculations, most water should still go this way, but some will go this way. I was thinking about this ever since I finished the last episode. I think I could get away with more water being in here. I really do. So, especially now that some of it is going the wrong way, so to speak. Not much, but enough. I think, why not let's throw in another 10 or 11 and see what happens. Of course, it's going to create a big bloosh as it comes in, but I think the walls are high enough, even down here where they don't look like they're that high. I think they are high enough that the river should be easily able to contain the extra volume. So while we have that going on, let's get our... Oh, look at that. Yeah, we still have like waves going on through here. So one thing that's a little bit... Oh, you know why? It gets narrow. It gets actually shallower. So let's click on this. Bump this down. Alright, that should actually prevent some of that from happening. Oh, sorry. A little too eager with my keystrokes there, as they say. Alright, so what I want to do is now make a shipping lane now that we have our river in order. And as you can see, we have the speed of our water. And this is exactly what I hoped would happen. The vast majority of it is flowing downstream, but we have a few small dots for a river that is flowing back upstream. However, are you going to be a jerk? Okay, let's see here. We got 124. Let's bump this down. Okay, that's gotta count. No? The entire reason I did this was so that I could make a alright. I don't have to resort to putting a source block here, but I will do it if you make me. A source block mainly to bubble on out of the city. Well, damn. For reasons I can't quite understand, our shipping lane will stop here. Oh, that's too bad. I really wanted it to go all the way through. So we have boats going all the way through the city, but... I mean, it is on the outside of the map, so maybe it won't make a difference. But now I don't think boats will pass through. I think the only boats we'll see are the ones that are actually coming to our ports. Which is a shame, because I wanted to see, like, all the boats, you know? See here, it doesn't have any problem hooking up, because there's plenty of water. Yeah, I am not happy about this. Okay, are we going to be idiots? For science. For science. Sea level is 40, so we're going to go 35 there. That means water will actually come in through the side. It will happen. It is happening, I think, in theory. Yeah, it doesn't matter how stupid this is, because this will never be seen once we actually start the game. Ah, look at that. We did it. We're just going to pretend this is not kayfabe over here. This doesn't exist. But if you look, still, the vast majority of water is going downstream. And as I predicted, the river is easily holding our extra. It does kind of roll along here, which does kind of annoy me a little bit. Like, things like this are problems that I seem to encounter very often when making rivers. So, what can I do about this? Well, not that. That looks ugly. Okay. I think what we're going to do is just create a levee once we get into the game. But, okay. We've played around enough with rivers for a while. We're going to create some airports. Or not airports, but air paths. One here. And out of editing area. What? Okay. And then one will go here and then bend back. Because I imagine our international airports will be around there somewhere. And now for natural scenery. Interestingly enough, the brushes are the same for this as for anything else with the elevation or anything. So I kind of like the idea that there's just generally trees about the map, you know? That it's just a, you know, a vaguely semi-forested area. Some rolling plains with some trees. Let's add some tree variety up on the hills. And over here, we'll make this the tree hill, or the hill tree rather. Throw in some shrubby bulbs. We'll throw in some just at various places around town. Okay. And let's see here, large bush. Put some of these on the mountain too. So there we go. Mountains, trees, lovely stuff. It looks like it's depositing sediment along here. It's kind of cool. But we are now going to... Oh look, we have like little lines here, a little bump, little bumpies. Yeah, it could be... It looks like it could be a natural formation of sorts. Yeah, and the original Trinity map did have like little lumps and humps like this, because they're as easy to accidentally create in SimCity 4 as they are here. So, and also a perfectly flat map is kind of boring. So now let's get into well, first of all, oil. Let's make 2 oil zones. We'll make one over here, and we'll make one within this valley. Doesn't mean we have to produce oil industry where there's oil, but it's an option. As far as ore, we'll have ore around here. We'll have ore over here. We'll have ore on the northern slopes of this mountain. Over here, even though we can't get it. We'll have a touch of ore here. But farming is going to be the main industry of this city. I want the potential of farms to be all over. Keep in mind, just because we are adding, this doesn't mean that this is going to be all farmland. It's, even if we wanted to, it's just not practical for this game. So we're going to have farm along here, along the fertile shores of the river. And up here, you know what, let's put ore over here. There was industry there in the original game, so also you can have it overlap. You can have multiple kinds of stuff on one spot. So this does kind of discolorate the map a little bit, but that's alright. We can deal with that. Alright, now what kind of topical features can we add? Well, we could add like fallen trees, like boop. But that's not too interesting. Sand we can add. I like, whoa, that's way too bright. Okay. I said Control Z. Okay. Take that away. Yeah, that's too much. Too much. But as an experiment, what if I yeah, I like the idea of a lake beach over here. I mean, I grew up in the upper Midwest, and this was a pretty common thing to have, you know, where they would actually import some sand to use as a pseudo beach on a lake. It's pretty cool. But I like the idea of we can have some rocks up here. Put a rock over here. Just for some scenery. And what do we have here? Oh, look. Trucks. Click. How many do we get if we do that? I like this idea that like there was once a lumbering operation. Speaking of that, lumbering is an option anywhere where there's a good number of trees, even if you plant them artificially in the game. Have modern ruins, including an abandoned stone farmhouse. Let's scatter those around in our farm territory. I like the idea that other people were here before us. And what's this? Trench ruins. Oh, I don't want this place to look too modern, so we can have although I do like the idea of an abandoned lighthouse up here. Doesn't that look cool? Yes, it does. Alright. Because I like to think this place was like an Old West, like it was settled in the Old West or something. Not that it's like in the West, but you know, it was settled at some point. But why not add some ancient ruins here and there? Add some Stonehenge. That's too much Stonehenge. Goodbye, Stonehenge. We'll just add a few. But we'll add just some pillars around. Like there might have been like Native Americans or whatever at some point, and they have cultural relics. Alright, what's here? Sheep, deer. I think it's fair to have wildlife on the mountains. So we're going to do just that, as well as a few other scattered random places. Alright, well, I think it's about time for us to get on to highways. Now, there you can make up to four road connections. However, you can, if you're clever, you can simulate more. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. First of all, let's go with the default, because if I want to share this, people will be able to use it without picking up any kind of packs. So, now let's not make it straight. It's going to curve. Curvy, curvy, curve. Ugh. Good enough. Okay. So, the idea is I want to have multiple ways in and out, just kind of like it was during the SimCity 4 days. But with the way that this works, it's a little bit more difficult. I'm trying to have the roads be where they, approximately where the highway entrances were in the Trinity days. I mean, it's been a long time, and I did go over some of the videos, just glancing at them, but I didn't really go, like, hardcore with them. So, we're going to have 4 basic ways in. There we go. And then we had this, which was, which side of the river was this on? Gosh, I don't remember. But we're going to put it on this side. But the struggle is, I want to get, in SimCity 4, people commuted to the city or from the city, but they didn't go through it. And I really don't want to put a whole bunch of highways in here originally, because I want this to grow organically. So what I will do is I will make some form of crazy bypass. And you'll actually be able to see it a little bit from inside probably, but that's okay. We're going to make a crazy bypass, and I'm hoping that at least some of the traffic that would go through the city goes around the city. That would make me happy. And also, if it's far enough out, we shouldn't have situations where we'll have like cars going from one place in the city to another by exiting the city, which is something that can happen. Although I do like the idea of using these as more possible ways in. So yeah, like I said, this is has the potential to be a long time, or a long process. But the thing is, if my philosophy is, if you're never going to see it, it doesn't have to look nice. Although, just for pride points or whatever, you don't want to make it look too terrible. At least that's my view of it. Okay. Do. Like, I'd never do that, like, inside the city radius, because that's, like, super lazy. But out here, you know, it's, and this, like, so many times I'll see this in maps I download and it just drives me nuts. But it's acceptable if nobody can see it. So that is our goal. Whoop. There we go. Yeah, they'll be able to see that. That's okay. I do like the mystery. It's like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's the highway, you know. I'm sure I myself will end up saying that many times. Yeah, things like this where one side is a suspension bridge and the other side is not. Yeah, no, we're not going to have that in the city radius whatsoever. I have principles, damn it. Okay. All right. Yay. Good, good, good. And keep in mind, once I do build roads, there is a good chance people are going to go like directly through, but I have a backup plan for that as well. And that is something I like to call underground tunnels. Yes, they're there, but you don't have to think about them, so they might as well not be there. Okay. Doo-ba-doop-doop-doo. Looking good. See, it's not hard at all to create quality bridges. I wasn't even really trying that hard, and I did it. Alright. The thing is, there is a follow mode, like the first person view. You can still watch cars drive on this. Of course, it doesn't remove the fog, so it's not much of a view, but it's still kind of cool. Okay, alright. Yeah, I'm putting the road down first, and then we're going to worry about intersections later. And by later, I mean immediately after. Okay. All right. I kind of like this perimeter road. Like, I imagine if this really was a place, this could serve as like a really like outer ring road. Like really outer, it's quite big, quite distant. Okay, now we just have this one more part to do. Good, good. I mean, that's bad, but remember what I said, it doesn't, if you don't see it, it doesn't count. Here's a hint, though. Don't use that on your boyfriend or girlfriend when referring to cheating. It's like, I'm sorry, babe, but you didn't see it, so does it really count? Yeah, don't use that. Okay. Now it's time for us to make ugly clover leaves. Oh, man. Ugly, ugly, ugly. Yeah, clover leaves in this game never look good. Although, if you have them be large, like I'm doing here, it can actually look kind of okay. But if you're trying to make them at all compact, no, you can forget about it. It's going to look bad. Do 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 do. Credit, So now we have that. And since this is only going to handle outside traffic, it should not have some of the problems that cloverleafs out in the world have. And also, we will actually be able to look at some of these from the city, I think. Possibly. Yeah, these are mainly to make life easier for us inside the city itself. And as I said, anything outside the city radius is officially non-canon. Especially stuff that's so far away that we can't see it at all. Alright. 2 more to do like this. Okay. Around you go. It's kind of fun because usually when I'm making exits I put a lot of thought into them and where they're going to go and the curve and the look, but here I'm just like, they go where they go, and they're actually turning out okay because and also I'd never take up this much room like in the city because I would find it to be extremely decadent unless I was going for some sort of aesthetic, you know. Yes, 8 ramps per cloverleaf plus times 4 cloverleafs. That is 32 ramps I am currently having to make, and it's not done. You'll see. I apologize for that. No, I don't. I apologize for nothing. Happy times. Alright. But there's a few more things I want to do. I distinctly remember there was a highway that entered over here. So while we can't connect it to the outside, we can and will connect it to this road. You see? You see my plan? You see my plan all along? Of course you do. You're smart. You are smart people. I would like to think that I have in general a smart audience. But that's really up to you. Do you consider yourself smart? Do you act smart? Do you leave me smart and interesting comments and not just brain dead comments? That's up to you. I mean, to be honest, if you want to leave a brain dead comment, as long as it's funny, that's fine. But there we go. There's one. And I think it would actually make a lot of sense to put one right here. And this one you'll actually be able to see a little bit. And there's a chance that somebody might actually go from here to here using this. But I don't particularly mind. Okay. So we have these things going on. And this, of course, looks a lot more like what you would see in default maps, which I find, I don't know, I find them kind of lacking, but it's all right for here. Also, let me think about this. Do I want an entry point in over here? No, I don't think I actually do. Let me think about this. Wait a minute. Yeah, in the original map, the turnpike went here, but there was another expressway that went here. So maybe, or did it go here? Or was there both? I don't know. There were a lot of expressways. So we have 1, 2. We'll add. You know, we'll add one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll have a 7th one, and it'll be over here. And I'm not sure how much this one will be used, to be completely honest, but we are going to have it, and it will be used a little bit. I'm almost certain about that. Okay. Okay. I made this a little tight, didn't I? This is why in general you want to make the inside one first, but actually this is actually turning out to be okay, so who cares? There we go. And that is going to be all the highway junctions that we need. And now it is time for the final thing, which is a railroad. In fact, it's the last thing on our connector vector. Sounds like a children's toy. Maybe it is. I don't know. But we are going to make ourselves a railroad. And if I remember correctly, this did actually go through the city. I mean, the highways did too, but I'm actually willing in this case to allow the rails to also pass through the city. Because as far as I can remember, you don't actually get trains that are going to places that are not within the city. And I like giving myself the challenge of deciding, do I want to have an at-grade crossing? Do I want an elevated crossing? You know, what do I want? Now I actually remember this being rather close to the river up here, so let's have the slope on in. Let's not destroy this wonderful farmhouse. That curve is too steep. It goes too far. But yeah, over here we might actually be able to bridge right over this when building. This also puts into perspective just how high this is and how slopey a lot of this is. But here is where we make a nice rail bridge. Any bridge that's within the city radius has to have thought put into it of some kind. And now we're going to have this curve out, up, over, and out. Alright, good. And now it is time to do it over here. We are going to start up here. Also, you cannot make tunnels in the map editor. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's worth pointing out. You cannot do it. Also, like, this degree of terrain leveling, you don't actually get in the play mode. So, enjoy it while you have it in the map editor. It's basically the moral of that story. This rail will go along here. And we're going to have some sort of rail intersection going on over here. It's going to be glorious. Cue Bobby Roode theme right now. But here is where we have to have some fun. How much of a gradual approach can we do? I want a really high bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are going to very hopefully it gives you the angle. That is what I like to call a bridge, my friends. And there it eases itself back down. And we are free to rocket on out of the city. Okay, and now for the rail junctions. I want them to be pretty long too, because that gives you less chance of trains bunching up. So this is to go from here to there, and also keep in mind is to go from here back to there. So we only need 2 actually, because that takes care of going there and back. Or do we need 2 or do we need 4? I think we might just need 2. No, we need 4. I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. Actually, you know what? Let's make it a little bit less close. There we go. And the last ones we need are there and there. But yeah, look at that. That is technically one long rail intersection. And if we decide to make a rail yard over here, this might get even more insane. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually probably going to be it. Just for fun, we can add, whoa. We can add some abandoned cars over here. Oh, they're inside one another. Almost. I like there's the idea that there's a junkyard over here. Just as a little, nothing like that we're trying to pass off as being too interesting. Whoops, what are we doing here? Oh yes, sand. Doop, ba-doop, ba-doop, doop, ba-doop. What did I just add? Oh, no, I'm adding sand. Am I? Actually, nah, screw that. It's looking kinda. You have to take away the field to be able to do that. Yeah, there we go. There's a little bit of a junkyard over here. Anything else junked we can throw in? Could put a, just for fun, let's throw a big old factory over here, which we can rotate. Actually, you know what? Let's blow this up and we'll put an abandoned factory right here. We'll have 2. So then we can make believe that this was once an industrial hub. Oh man. More junk. More junk. Come on, I'm gonna put whoopsie. I didn't expect that to happen. There we go. We'll just have a really ugly area. Too bad we can't add like rust or something. Can we add like, let's see. We can add bushes. It doesn't really add that many bushes, sadly. But there we go. We have a little spot over there. That can be a lot of fun. So ladies and gentlemen, we are basically done with creating the map for Trinity. Took an hour and a half, not bad, and we are leaving the compass. I don't even care. It's a part of the city now. We have 7 roadways in. Using our little trick, we have more than the game allotted us. So ladies and gentlemen, this is our map. We are about to begin creating Trinity. Are you excited? Because I'm sure as heck excited. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to wish you all a very happy afternoon or evening or morning, and I will see you all later when we begin the actual episode 1. So long.